Hey, what's up you guys? It's Zach Shear here, and I have a short tutorial for you guys today on how to draw a cartoon head. So, a lot of you guys might have seen this image on my Instagram, and I'm gonna explain this in more detail right now. So, let's get started with the first step. Let me zoom in real quick, and sorry, that's too much. Alright, so this is the first step. Hang on, let me bring up a brush tool in case I need to give examples. Yeah, so the first step to drawing the head is pretty simple actually. So all you have is your basic circle right here, and you draw a line right down the center. So this is going to be where the mass of your skull is, and the center line is just for reference so you know kind of where to place things. So the first step is pretty simple. Now we'll go to step 2. Step 2, what you want is the basic shape of the jaw, and depending on the kind of head you want drawn or the gender, the shape of the jaw might be a little bit different, but this drawing right here is more of a generic jaw. Or yeah, it's just kind of for superhero I wanted to draw. So yeah, that's the basic shape of the head, and this shape is actually the basic skull shape. Probably gonna take out this part right here. So if you look at it, the human skulls just like that, and that's just the basic skull shape. And yeah, that'll give you kind of a guideline for where you want to draw everything, and it'll also give you a lot more form. So moving on to step 3. Okay, so this is where you want to start placing everything. So the eyes are gonna go somewhere over here. I have a line for that. The nose, I think I actually drew the nose a little high for this. It's probably a bit down here somewhere. You got the mouth, you got the lower lip, and then you have the chin right here. And notice I put a line right here. That is actually for the hairline. So the hairline generally just goes right there. And of course, this could vary depending on your character, but again, I'm just drawing a generic head right here, and that's where I wanted to place the hairline. So yeah, that's it for the marks right there. And as you can see, I added in the neck, and yeah, this muscle right here is very important. So it connects near the back of the ear, and it goes all the way down to your collarbone. So that's a very important muscle. I did a quick representation of it with just a line going straight down. And you'll notice right now I don't have a lot of detail going on because this is still the basic form. And you can see I have the muscle going down there. That's kind of like where the Adam's apple is, and the neck goes back a bit here. So one quick tip is that normally on human heads, the neck, if you want to draw a cylinder, the neck doesn't go straight up and down like this. It actually attaches like that and curves back a bit. So yeah, that's just kind of like what I did over here. If you draw the cylinder in like that. So yeah, that's about it for that step, and we'll move on to the next step. Let me see if I can go back a bit. Kind of get that out of the way. Okay, and just move on. Okay, actually, let me erase this, and I'll add another layer for all of these marks. Okay, so step 4. Here is where you actually want to define your facial features, such as the brow line, you got the nose, you got the mouth right here, and notice how I put a circle for the chin. So the chin kind of protrudes out right there, and this circle right here is just for the eye socket. And yeah, so this part's pretty simple. And let's see. Oh, and you can see I started tightening the lines around here, here, and I added this extra line right here. That's for more of the neck muscles and just to let me know where everything is. And I think I started adding the brow line. So yeah, that's step 4. Step 5, you can see there's a bigger jump. This is starting to look more like a bald superhero head. So what I did here, you can notice that I added the ears, B drew in the eyes, and I started to tighten up these lines back here. So for the eye, most eyes are, you think it's just kind of like that. Yeah, so most eyes are like this if you're looking right onto it, but if you're looking from the side, the eye actually looks like this. So just a quick tip in case you did not know that already. It's pretty simple. You just draw kind of a small triangle, except for the front's kind of curved. Let's see, what else did I do here? Yeah, so I tightened up the lines a bit, and yeah. So we'll move on to the next step. So here, step 6, you can notice a significant difference now. So for step 6, I said block in the hair and tighten up the lines. So as you can see, I started erasing some of my underdrawing, and I started to tighten up the lines all the way here. Sorry. Let's see. Okay, and I blocked in the hair. Notice how I'm not drawing like strand by strand right now. I'm pretty much looking at the overall shape of the hair. I just kind of go like that, and yeah, that's the basic shape right there. And this is just to give me an idea of where the hair goes when I actually draw it in. So you don't need to be drawing it strand by strand right now. That will come later. Yeah, so moving on to step 7. Oops. Okay. Step 7. Step 7, I said add line weights and strands of hair. So this is where you actually want to start adding in the hair. So notice how I didn't just draw it strand by strand like that. And yeah, because that's going to end up looking very flat, and it's not going to look lifelike at all. So what I did was I drew a few more defining strands like that, and notice how for the strands I'm not just curving it around like that, because that makes a very boring strand of hair. All of them are kind of curved and hooked like that. So yeah, that's kind of how the hair looks. And down here, these lines are just references for where it's darker. Since the light's going to be coming from up here, it's going to be a little bit darker down here compared to maybe like up there. And you can see I started adding line weights over here. It's pretty much just whatever's turning away from the light, it's going to be darker. So this part's darker down here, that part's darker, this is darker, that part's going to be darker, this part, and yeah, that's pretty much it for this step. Oh, and behind the ear too. So that's pretty simple. Step 8, you want to sketch in the shadowed areas of the hair. So this is kind of a negative space drawing since I'm not drawing it strand by strand. Yeah, I usually don't like to do that. Instead, I kind of find the clumps of hair and I draw the shadow under the clumps of hair. So you can see it's not drawing it strand by strand. And I also shadow the strands up here. And yeah, And I also added a little cast shadow behind the ear, since the ear casts a shadow since it's kind of protruding out of the head. And I also added a little more detail to the ear right there. I think that's about it for that step. So moving on to the final step, which is cross hatching and adding the final detail. So this is kind of a stylistic choice. I usually cross hatch like this. I say I do pretty heavy cross hatching. A lot of it's because of my influence from David Finch as well as Stephen Platt. They both cross hatch a ton, and I think it looks really nice for a nice dark to light gradient. So yeah, the final details, it's kind of up to your personal preference what you want to do, but for me, if you look at it, let me zoom up a bit. I'm just kind of shadowing it a bit. You can see the shadows, and then I just cross hatch. So there's kind of a shadow lying under the cheek right there. That's an important shadow. The jaw casts a shadow onto the neck. There's a shadow back here since it's the farthest away from the light, and under the brow line there's a bit of shadow too. And yeah, that's about it. So alright. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial. Yeah, you can find this image on my Instagram. I posted it there, and yeah, be sure to check that out. I'll leave the link in the description down below, and make sure you subscribe as well, and I'll be doing more of these videos soon. Just let me know if you like it in the comments or not, or yeah, I'll see you guys next time.